Hey everybody, this is Dirk with Precision Impact, and today we're just going to talk a little bit about a topic that's pretty important to myself, and that is what it means to be a good teammate. Now, from a coaching standpoint, from a player standpoint, it's important to know a little bit about both roles. Now, if you're a coach, kind of coach some of these younger athletes to be good teammates, or if you're an athlete trying to become a better teammate, all these things are going to be really important. Now, by definition, it's a fellow or current member of a team. Now, there's just so much more to that, to be honest. Now, we've got a small little list here. The list could go on and on and on, but we're going to briefly touch on each topic and what it means to be a good teammate by being, for instance, respectful, not only of yourself, your facility, your program, or your organization, but of the game itself, the umpires, the other team, or your team. Being respectful of the all-around game is something that I really hold dear to me. Competitive, it is just the foundation of what it means to compete or play a sport. You've got to be competitive. You want to have a goal set and trying to compete not only against yourself and who you were yesterday, not even maybe competing against your own teammates, but definitely just having a sense of competition and being competitive overall. Coachable, you're going to hear this especially as you're growing up as an athlete, and you're going to use it a lot as a coach. I mean, athletes, you're looking for athletes that are coachable. You're looking for athletes that want to grow, that want to learn, that want to get better. And those athletes are very valuable, and you're going to hold on to those athletes and probably really feel like they're listening and taking in everything that is you're coaching them. Being humble and optimistic, you know, you're gonna find some success in your time, and you're gonna find some failures. And to be humble when you're achieving a lot of success is gonna keep you really grounded when those failures happen. Not to be too high, not to be too low, but to be humble, somewhere in between, as consistent as you can. Being optimistic. There's going to be days as a coach, as a player, that you're going to be down by a lot, that the things just don't seem to be going according to your initial plan. But when you remain optimistic, you're going to find that a lot of these characteristics don't disappear. Optimism is going to be a really valuable characteristic to a teammate and to a coach. That optimism, no matter what point in the game it is going to help bring you back to life a little bit. Definitely being dependable. I mean, you don't sign up for something unless you're going to see it through the very end. So when a coach has you come onto a team, when you're a player playing for a team, when you can prove to them that you're a dependable coach, that you're a dependable player, those things go hand in hand. And then we can start forming a really good relationship when you can start depending on your other teammates, when you can start depending on your coach, and then you are a dependable teammate yourself. Passion, you've got to play the game with some passion. You've got to play it with some emotion, because that's what's ultimately going to sometimes strike and build a lot of that confidence, is by having some passion for the game that you're playing. Trusting, you've got to be a trustworthy athlete. And this comes from a friendship type of thing with the teammates and players. You're going to eventually build pretty positive relationships. You've got to be trusting. You've got to be able to see things through. And when you're a trusting athlete, a lot of these other characteristics are going to fall into there. Accountable. I mean, there's going to be times where you might miss a sign. There's going to be times where you're going to let a little bit of failure into your career. Now, you've got to be accountable for those mistakes, just as you've got to be accountable for some of your successes. And when you can start being accountable, you can actually start making adjustments a lot easier. Communicate. Communication happens on the field, off the field, at practice, in the middle of the games. And when you can really be a good communicator, you can start communicating to your fellow teammates on the field to make sure that maybe you know something they don't. And by communicating properly and effectively and really respectfully, you're going to be able to be a good leader on and off the field. Which brings us to the next one, which is being a leader and knowing when to be a bit of a follower. You know, if you know something, if you know this hitter really well and you're in the outfield and trying to lead your outfield, you know, it's important to be able to follow instructions. It's also important to be able to give them. But there's got to be a time and a place and a bit of a give and push for that. Buying in. I mean, this is something as a young athlete and as a coach, you've got to really try to instill buy-in. Right? I mean, if they're young and they're new to a program, they've got to really buy into the culture. They've got to buy into the strategies, the time, the way things move. And when you get a kid to really buy into a program, you're going to see them take off like never before. They've got to be unselfish. They can't be out there playing completely for themselves. Despite baseball there being some elements of an individual, it is a team game, hence teammate, which is what we're talking about today. You've got to be understanding of how to be unselfish. You see an opportunity for fame and glory, but the real play here is to roll over to this side, lay down a bunt. All these things, you've got to understand how important it is to be unselfish when you're playing with 9 other people on the team, potentially 20 overall. intensity. I mean, that's got to be something that happens the second you step on the field. Maybe it's the second you even put your pants on, your baseball pants on in the morning. I mean, the intensity's got to be with you for the entire course of the day. Now, it can be really draining, but there's got to have strategies to be able to boost that intensity, whether it be playing off each other, having a really inspiring coach, or just loving the game that much and deriving it from some of your passion. Sacrifice. I mean, you're going to hear this a lot throughout your entire career, and how important sacrifice is going to be, whether it be in the middle of the game, sacrificing your time to show up to practice, sacrifice your weekends for some of these games you're going to play, some of the travel. It's going to be really crucial that you understand just how much sacrifice is going to be involved. And when you sacrifice, there's going to be things in the future that you're going to get back. I assure you that. Now, body language. Some of the elite level coaches, as you move up, you're gonna realize just how valuable body language is. And that's on and off the field, at the plate, at the mound, all these other places. You got to be able to be composed. You've got to be able to control your body language. Now, I know it's difficult when intensity is high, passion's high, but when you can control your body language and be very composed, it's amazing just how you can turn one small failure, maybe at the plate, into the next time coming up and finding a lot of success. Attitude and effort, and they go hand in hand. You're always going to hear these two terms used fairly together, and when you have a good attitude and a lot of effort to back it up, you're going to be one of those players that are not only coachable, respectful, competitive. I mean, the attitude and effort almost are the foundation of it all, but I mean, there's so much more to it at the same time. Execution. The game is comprised of executing things, the fundamentals, so simply. When you can learn to execute and not overthink the game, but break it down to its simplest form, execution starts leading to a lot of success. Focus. I mean, that is one of the hardest things, especially from a youth standpoint, for them to remain focused from start to finish. Now, you've got to imply tactics or maybe energy, or you've got to really lead by example of staying focused on your task for a short period of time and then for the whole duration of the game. Focus is very crucial. And then we're coming up finally with vision. Now, vision is something that you can have at the beginning of the game of what you want to see out of yourself for that day, vision maybe for the entire season, vision of maybe years to come. It's important as a teammate to have a bit of a vision and maybe even sharing your vision with other teammates and having a vision collectively maybe as a team, having a vision collectively maybe as a program or an organization. And when you have vision, you have an idea of where you want to go and you can build a bit of a plan to get there. Now, there's less is not complete. There are just so many more we can add to it. But for today, these are the ones that I really thought really appealed to me, something that I thought was very important. If you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, any more comments or any characteristics that you'd like us to add to here and maybe talk a little bit about, or any comments about the video itself and some of the things we discussed, leave a comment down below or contact our email at precisionimpact.ca. Be sure to check out some of our products, and we look forward to talking to you again. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. If you're a coach or athlete who wants to improve your game, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page so that you can stay up to date with the latest coaching tips, training techniques, and baseball information. Also, if you're looking for professional quality baseball training equipment, check out our website at precisionimpact.ca. We sell a variety of training tools such as plow balls, weighted baseballs, resistance bands, heavy hitting baseballs, and much more. Not only do we have the best prices and warranties, but we also have amazing customer service and free shipping for orders over $25. So come check us out at precisionimpact.ca and start making an impact in your baseball career.